force on the internet. All right, Vision versus Superman. Oh, very well. All right, so we see here first off that there's a really nice picture of Vision. Let's see what arguments people have to make about this particular subject. This person just says Superman. Superman should roll on John Deere over Vision. If Vision has the chance to phase, he could take it. All right, that's interesting to know, but I would also like to know why he thinks that way, because phasing just doesn't instantly give the game to him. Let's keep scrolling through here. I think this would go to Superman. It would be very similar to Superman versus Martian Manhunter. The disruption thing could make it an interesting fight, however. I agree with that. Phasing through objects does make it difficult for someone to fight you, but like he's pointed out, as the Superman versus Martian Manhunter thing, it's still...
Let's do this. Sync up.
Sync up?
Yeah, sync up.
Sync up.
1, 2, 3, come on.
Those words.
Sync up. Come on, man. What's the video? Howdy guys, welcome to another episode of YMS versus the Internet. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Vision and the different things that Google has him pitted against. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First off, we have Vision versus Mission. That's more of a kind of a vision, mission, like moral thing. So let's go into Vision versus Superman. Let's see what Vision versus Superman has to offer us on the Internet. All right, Vision versus Superman. Oh, very well. All right, so we see here first off that there's a really nice picture of Vision. Let's see what arguments people have to make about this particular subject. This person just says Superman. Superman should roll on John Deere over Vision. If Vision has the chance to phase, he could take it. All right, that's interesting to know, but I would also like to know why he thinks that way, because phasing just doesn't instantly give the game to him. Let's keep scrolling through here. I think this would go to Superman. It would be very similar to Superman versus Martian Manhunter. The disruption thing could make it an interesting fight, however. I agree with that. Phasing through objects does make it difficult for someone to fight you, but like he's pointed out, as the Superman versus Martian Manhunter thing, it still would probably go to Superman. However, it would make it very difficult for Superman. Continuing on, how is Superman going to get the Vision if he can phase? That's interesting. Well, the thing about that is Vision can't get to Superman either if he's phased. So really what it comes down to is if Superman's going to be able to hit Vision at key points when he's phasing. Because both of them can't get at each other. The next one, that's the thing, this person writes. Phasing versus speed. Excellent, I just said that too. Vision is an advanced machine. It would stand to reason that the thought processes are faster than that of humans. So he might be able to phase in time. His phasing seems to disrupt more than any other phasing type I've seen. He beat Hyperion down extremely well in super dense form and in intangible form. I say he can do it. And this person's absolutely right that that has occurred.
Hyperion versus Vision. He went super dense and throttled Hyperion. But moving on, that's not what we're talking about. Superman thinks, reacts, and moves at speeds that Vision can actually battle, where he won't be able to do that. I don't know if that's necessarily true. If Vision were to just go intangible and stick his hand in Superman and then do some phase shifting inside there, that wouldn't necessarily disrupt the Man of Steel. Even though it's not just his skin that's indestructible, it's him as a person. So physically, that might end up actually hurting Vision as a machine before it'll hurt Superman, regardless if it's inside his body. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give my standard on this. In the battle between Superman versus Vision, I'm going to have to give this battle to Superman. Because, like it's already been stated before, this is the same battle as like with Martian Manhunter versus Superman. And albeit Vision doesn't have the mental powers that Martian Manhunter is, so he's kind of like a discount version of him, if you say. I'm not saying he's horrible. I do like Vision, but he's kind of a discount Martian Manhunter. What this is it's going to come down to whether or not Vision can outplay Superman at his points of phasing in and out. And I don't believe Vision is actually faster than Superman, so Superman could probably hit him at those key moments and bring his weakness to him. So in this battle, I'm going to give the win to Superman. So let's go ahead and move on to see what Google has next for Vision. Okay, we got Vision versus Thor. All right. Alright, Vision versus Thor. This first gentleman says, try to think of how Vision could win before y'all just write. Thor! That person definitely has an opinion. If Vision could phase out and just grab Thor's heart like he does, or at least should do, to most everyone he comes up against, he wins. If not, he gets torn in half or bolted by some lightning, or teleported into some dimension to never return. This is true. Vision's got to deal with... Asgardians in general, though, are typically a lot more dense. At least, if I'm going to put a number to it, I believe it's 3 times more dense than a human being. So I know that Vision can become intangible, and he can go through anything regardless of how dense it is. But like the same case with Superman, it might not be as easy to disrupt their internal organs or whatnot, given how dense they are. So an attack like that might not do so much damage. Also, again, the speed thing is going to be difficult because even though Thor is not an extremely fast or a speedster type character, he can track objects moving at the speed of light. So his kinetic vision will be able to catch any of those types of moves that Vision pulls on him. Moving on, that person says Thor all the way, and then the one below that, Thor, easily. Thor was always the heavy hitter on the team, not Vision, and Thor's powers with Mjolnir trump anything Vision can do. I agree with that to an extent because Thor is putting out a lot more damage than Vision really ever will do. There are times in which Vision can get the drop on people and really, like with what he did with Hyperion, he can do a lot of damage with his density shifting. However, in this one, it's just Vision's not going to be able to outpower Thor. And beyond that, Vision, his only chance for this really would come to the fact that he could outsmart Thor, because he's not going to be able to grapple him, he's not going to be able to strike him. And even if he uses his laser beams, they're not going to be able to be strong enough to defeat Thor. And if it comes down to it, probably one swing from Mjolnir would shatter Vision completely. So this would have to be a defensive fight on Vision's part until he can somehow find a way to outsmart Thor, maybe somehow trap him, and then that's how you defeat him. But in the grand scheme of things, I would have to give this fight to Thor. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next Google verses. Alright, we have Vision versus Thanos, but that one's probably all going to be about the movies and whatnot, and it's not going to have any interesting comments on it, so we're going to skip that. Vision versus Iron Man. Interesting. That's kind of been done so-and-so with movies, though. Let's try and be a little bit more genuine, original. So I'm just going to, and also because I happen to just really like the Hulk. So we're going to go down to Vision versus Hulk. Alright, Vision seems somewhat, what we're talking about, let's see the MCU versions this person talks about. So we're going to be debating over the MCU versions, at least for this discussion. This person says, Vision seems somewhat weak physically in the movies. Ultron laid him out for a great deal of time. Hulk, on the other hand, repeatedly mangled Ultron. So I imagine Hulk would win. And that's true. Obviously, I have to give the physical advantage to Hulk, as he always will get. This person's argument being that the common denominator between the two is Ultron, and physically Vision lost, and physically Hulk won. So yes, in that aspect, I would have to also give the victory to Hulk. Let's see. Firstly, this person says, Vision can face, meaning Hulk, if Hulk were to get up close, he'd go right through him. And this is absolutely true. Apart from that, Vision can fly. Yes, Hulk can leap, but Vision would be able to see him coming and easily move out of the way. After many hours, Hulk would get tired. Not true. Actually, that second sentence right there I have a lot of problems with. Mainly two. First is, the Hulk is not something you can just see coming very easily, because he has been clocked at very fast speeds. Even in a simple leap, he can be moving very fast. And unless the Vision has, like, several football fields between him and the Hulk, he's not going to see that leap coming, like, instinctually. He's not going to be like, oh, that Hulk's coming, I better, like, have a tea break and then think about what I'm going to do for the next 5 hours. And then, oh, there's the Hulk, I'm just going to sidestep him. No, the Hulk's going to be on him, and it's going to be aggressive, and he's going to be fast about it. Also, the Hulk doesn't tire out very easily, especially within a fight. That's not much of an argument. This person also writes, plus Vision has the Infinity Gem on his, I forgot we were talking about the MCU versions. He has the Infinity Gem on his head. Not sure exactly, but it could have enough power to push back the Hulk if he comes charging at him. In the MCU setting, I don't believe that the Infinity Gem alone, that one, would have enough power to push back the Hulk if he was charging at him, especially if he was Savage Hulk, let's say. However, the Vision could continue to attack him from a distance, this is true, and we haven't really discussed actually what the type of mind attacks that Vision can do, at least for the MCU ones, since he has the Mind Stone. If he were to invade the mind of Hulk, it might necessarily not go in Vision's favor at all. There have been people like, there was a powerful telepath called the Vegetable that fought against Bruce Banner, and he was able to invade his mind and kind of torture him and beat him up a bit, and Bruce Banner was terrified, and the Vegetable's like, yeah, you're just like everyone else. Everyone's terrified of me. And Bruce Banner's like, no, I'm not afraid of you, I'm afraid of being here. And he's like, what are you talking about? My mind, I'm in my own mind. It's the most terrifying place I can imagine. And the Vegetable's like, what? And at that moment, like, an arm from every different Hulk that's ever been created comes out of this void and grabs the Vegetable and pulls it in. And it's like, what? So, if you were to invade the Hulk's mind, you might be surprised at what you find. That, I wouldn't say that would go in Vision's favor. Alright, moving on, we'd have to say, Vision phases through the Hulk's skull and rips his brain out. That's like an 8-second solution that will just piss him off even more. Skull can be phased through, but not ripped. All Hulk cells are invincible, including brain cells. I like this person's response. Moving on from that, I'd rather see a staring contest between, this person is just no fun. Hulk couldn't hurt Vision if Vision uses his phasing powers, but I don't know if Vision is actually strong enough to hurt. That's another thing that I haven't actually been thinking about. There's no real way for Vision to actually hurt the Hulk. What this is another game, like in the previous battles, it's really just Vision playing defensive and evading until he finds a way to either isolate a weak point or outsmart the opponent. In this case, there's really no way. Of course, you might say that he has the intelligence factor going for him in this one, but it doesn't really matter when the opponent can stop anything that you throw at him, really, regardless of whatever it is. So, in the battle, in my opinion, in the battle of Hulk versus Vision, I'm going to have to give this one to the Hulk. But, you know, guys, this is all my opinion, so I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. Just to recap on today's episode, we had Vision versus Superman, Vision versus Thor, Vision versus the Hulk. Now, guys, I want to hear what you have to say in the comments below, whether or not you agree with me or you think that my opinions are absolute garbage. I want to hear them all, man. And as always, YourMove, Internet.
Howdy folks, I'm Ken Man, and welcome to another episode of YMS versus the Internet. On today's topic, we're going to go on Black Panther versus. We're going to go to the Internet and see what kind of people Black Panther will be fighting today in our video. So let's see here, our top three contenders are Black Panther versus Batman, Black Panther versus Wolverine, Black Panther versus Jaguar. That's probably the actual animals, so we're going to skip that one. We're going to go down to Black Panther versus Iron Man. So let's begin this subject with Black Panther versus Batman and see what people online have to say about this argument. Alright, don't kill me if this has been done before. This person writes, both characters have 12 hours prep time. They each have access to all the technologies at their disposal. The fight takes place in an arena. Could the Dark Knight take Black Panther, he proposes. Batman fans, keep in mind that T'Challa is at least as intelligent as Wayne and is wearing his vibranium suit. Alright, so we got the grounds for this person's particular fight. We'll see what people have to say about it. The next post says, prove that Black Panther is as smart as Wayne. Now, they're not in the same universe, one being DC, one being Marvel, but Black Panther is within the top 10, easily one of the top 10 smartest people in Marvel. And you can make arguments that Batman may be the smartest person in DC, although I wouldn't make him number one. So I'm pretty sure them both being within the top 10 of their respective universes means that they can keep track of each other, regardless of what the type of competition is. So let's skip on to the next person. The next person says, as replying to prove that Black Panther is as smart as Wayne. Black Panther is considered an intellectual equal to Reed Richards and Dr. Doom. Not sure about that, but we'll keep that in the sideline. Bruce Wayne is a brilliant detective, but I have never seen him show himself to be as intellectual as someone like Reed Richards. I believe that they both, albeit not as smart as Reed Richards and Dr. Doom, both can compete with Reed Richards and Dr. Doom, so I would say that they're still intellectual equals. The next post says, I feel ya. But I see Richards and Dr. Doom as science guys. Wayne is like an ultimate detective tactics guy. To me, it's kind of like why Cap would beat Stark 9 out of 10 times. Yeah, Stark is a genius, but a fight is different. I am Bat fan. Wow, English. I am Bat fan, and I don't like the whole Batman factor, only when used for fun. But I don't see DC's most dangerous man on the planet who's taken down the whole GLA losing to a Marvel mid-card. What? No disrespect to BP. So we're going to skip this guy. The next guy says Black Panther. Obviously, he's saying Black Panther would win. The next person after that says Black Panther would win. Craven, again, says prove why Black Panther is as smart as Wayne. Black Panther is considered an hey, Craven, who is Joe? Alright, we're going to skip that one. No real arguments are being made here. I think it would be an interesting fight. I get what you're saying about intellect types, but remember that BP is a warrior king. He is well versed in tactics and military strategy. I think the killer is his vibranium. It can cut through Batman's armor. BP has access to Wakandan tech, which is possibly the most advanced in the world. He has anti-metal that can dissolve all of Batman's gadgets. And this is very true. The type of adamantium that has fallen within, or I should say vibranium, the meteor that fell into Wakanda is anti-metal, and it's called that because when it comes into contact with another metal, it will dissolve through it, kind of like, you know, a hot knife through butter. That's just how it reacts with other metals, so it becomes a superior grade of metal. And the only thing that can really penetrate that type of vibranium is more vibranium, depending upon the amount of force imbued into each one. Vibranium's reaction with other things, mostly impact, is that it will absorb the kinetic energy and then it can release it later on, depending upon how it's used. This has been done. Black Panther wins. Okay, Static Shock, that's cool that you say that, but I don't know where you're getting that from. Okay, that guy just says thanks. Black Panther, I believe Batman would win. Batman always has whatever he needs in his utility belt. Alright, we're going to jump away from the internet, and I'm going to talk about this now. Now, in Black Panther versus, let's see, I'll use purple here, versus Batman. Black Panther versus Batman. Yes, both of them are incredibly intelligent in their own rights. Both of them are military strategists, tactics beyond anyone else can believe. Both of them have gone to
extreme lengths for universities and whatnot, have their PhDs, both have great political ties, but that's not really what's going to determine, the political ties at least, is not going to determine who wins in a fight. Now, at least for what that guy said in determining how much prep time they have for their fight, prep time is going to make this really difficult because they're both going to try and outplan the other one. That's just the kind of people who they are. So if we're going to look at between two think tanks who will win, it's really going to come down to whichever one is going to try and use the other one's weakness against them. When you have two think tanks, it's going to be like a game of chess in which they're going to be moving their pawns across the board and whatnot, but they're going to start off with, at least for these two people who are both incredibly wealthy, they're going to start with the same amount of material going into this. So it's going to be whoever utilizes the other one's weaknesses or identifies the other one's weaknesses faster or uses that leverage better. So let's talk about the different weaknesses that T'Challa has. T'Challa has an entire country, and I'm not saying that Batman is going to go so low as to threaten his entire country, but he does have a country to look after in the grand scheme of things. So any of those people, any of those countrymen in Uganda are possible leverage that Batman can use. Moving over to Batman, Batman has the Bat family, which are the people that he finds closest to him, along with some of the Justice League members. But it'd be a lot more difficult to get a hold of them than the average countryman Joe from Uganda. Moving on to that, both people have a lot of instincts about where power should be placed and who's handling it. And so if you were to take into instance one of them giving someone important to them a certain amount of power, they might become upset about that, and then they could use that against each other. But in this one, in terms of leverage, I believe Batman would have the ability to put more leverage onto Black Panther than Black Panther could put onto Batman. Now, in an actual fight, they're both really good combatants. Both learned a lot. And I don't know if anyone really has the edge over the other one. Perhaps Batman knows more martial arts than Black Panther does, but the number of martial arts doesn't really matter. It's how effectively you can utilize them. Now, Batman's been called the master of all martial arts. Now, that does matter because that means he's very proficient at everything, and he can come up with a lot of tactics. Black Panther, not necessarily knowing all different martial arts, has a lot of martial arts to his disposal that can deal with a lot of the problems that he comes into. Now, let's talk about their different equipment. Black Panther has energy daggers. He's got vibranium claws, the suit, which has everything in it, including short-range teleporters. Wrap your mind around that one, for instance. Now, Batman, joking around with Batman, he has anything that he could ever want in his belt. And if we're talking about prep time, then either one's going to bring whatever type of material they want to this. So like I said before, this is really going to come down to which one can leverage the other one's weaknesses. And I believe it would be a lot more difficult for Black Panther to talk about Batman's parents, which is probably his weakest point, versus Batman bringing in the normal average civilian Joe from Uganda. So in terms of a fight, and if we bring in all things considered, I think Batman would win. So in a fight of Black Panther versus Batman, I'm going to give the fight to Batman. Let's move on now to the next person. Alright, next on there is Black Panther versus Wolverine. Let's dive into this and see what the internet has to say between these two combatants. Wolverine versus Black Panther. This person proposes the battle is obviously to the death. The second post says Black Panther can kill him, but he doesn't carry anything on him that would keep him dead. Wolverine would win eventually. Now that's a phenomenal idea right there, because in the end, yes, when you have a regenerative ability that Wolverine possesses, no matter how many times you get killed, he'll just come back. And his stamina is not infinite, but the fact that he can regenerate means that it'll always be coming back, so that he can keep fighting T'Challa until T'Challa just drops dead from stamina. However, my rebuttal for that is that T'Challa is an ingenious level intellect. He's going to find a way to keep Wolverine down, or keep him incapacitated, or even lock him away so he becomes a non-threat. So in the end, saying that this battle is going to be decided by healing factor is not going to work for me. I'd say that T'Challa is too smart for a healing factor to stop him. Let's move on to the next one. We have, what do you mean? Like I just explained, that's what he means probably. What do you mean? What do I mean? Wow, people have such great conversations. Why would Wolverine eventually win? Skip on to the next one. Because he'd keep coming back. Well, we're still talking about this. No, we're not saying the Black Panther. Yeah, even if he does get the first kill, it doesn't mean that Wolverine's eventually going to win. Wolverine would totally kick it. Well, you know what? Alright, so these people are going to be talking about the same thing. Let's just go into my discussion. We're going to be talking about Black Panther versus, let's get Wolverine red. Wolverine. You would be pretty bad if I misspelled this. Now, Wolverine's a great guy, and come to think about it, Wolverine is actually a great combatant because he's had years of experience across different wars and different times in which he's actually had to fight people. Now, Wolverine doesn't necessarily employ a lot of martial art tactics rather than just being ravenous and savage for the most part, but he is a smart guy and he's been around the block a couple of times, so he does have experience underneath his belt, at least a lot more than Black Panther has. But Black Panther has taken a lot and crammed it into his life, albeit a lot shorter than Wolverine's has been. Now, as a combatant, perhaps the experience point goes to Wolverine, but as a superior fighter, we might say that Black Panther is because he's strategically and tactically better at fighting. Now, we could say that Wolverine is stronger, but Black Panther does have a lot of qualities go for him. He's eaten from the root of his people, which means when one becomes the Black Panther, you have to eat the heart-shaped root. And if you have the royal bloodline in you, you'll be able to ingest it. If you're not, it'll poison you, you might die. But if you're of the royal lineage, you can ingest it, and it will enhance all of your physical capabilities several-fold. And then he got the blessing from the Panther God, which did that over again, so he's got some sort of exponential increase in all of his physical abilities. Whether or not it means he's stronger than Wolverine, I'm not entirely sure, but I would probably say that if he's got exponential increase, that he'll probably beat Wolverine. Because what Wolverine has in strength is the fact that he's lifting around an adamantium skeleton his whole life, and that's going to build some muscle when you're carrying around tons of metal inside your body. But T'Challa's is exponential, so I might have to say that the strength goes to T'Challa. Now, obviously, what a lot of this comes down to is who wins between adamantium and vibranium. Earlier I talked about how the vibranium in Uganda is able to melt through other metals. Now, adamantium, it's funny in that what it does to other metals is that either it's just flat out stronger, or it will repel them. Like, when you have adamantium on adamantium, it typically repels against each other. Neither of them win, because it can't be stopped. Well, when it comes to adamantium on adamantium, they'll just bounce, sparks fly, but none of them is really going to win. So what I think is going to happen is that when adamantium meets against vibranium, is that vibranium will absorb the kinetic energy, but then it will bounce off of it. And so neither one will actually penetrate the other one. Now, we've got Black Panther's suit is entirely made of, or at least woven in with vibranium. That means that every time one of his claws, Wolverine's claws, were to go and strike him in his suit, it would probably just die, its momentum would be taken out, and then probably bounce off. Now, on the reverse side, every time one of his claws, one of Black Panther's claws, were to try and hit across one of Wolverine's claws or his skeleton, it would bounce back too. And since it's not the one delivering the kinetic energy, or it is the one delivering the kinetic energy, it's not absorbing it, so it would just bounce off. That's all that would happen. Now, Wolverine's not wearing a suit, it's just his flesh. He's going to feel the pain from it, obviously, but it'll just regenerate. However, this battle is going to come down to both of them are physically capable of fighting each other, but one of them is clearly smarter than the other one, and that's Black Panther. So, in terms of a fight, I'm going to call this one based on their intelligence level. And so this fight between Black Panther versus Wolverine, I'm going to say goes to Black Panther. Now we're going to move on to our next combatants. Alright, next up on the Google list, we've got Black Panther versus Iron Man. We're going to go ahead and skip the Black Panther versus Jaguar because they're actually talking about the legitimate animals. So, Black Panther versus Iron Man, this is obviously one that we've probably seen coming because they're both intellectual giants within the Marvel landscape. I'm not entirely sure which one is really smarter than the other one, but there are times in which Black Panther has at least outwitted Tony Stark, and perhaps vice versa, although I can't really think of a time. Both men are incredibly smart. We're looking at this person's webpage. It says, in round 1, Black Panther versus Iron Man, and whatever suits they wear normally. Alright, so in terms of normal wearing, I guess we can say that Iron Man's wearing the Mark 5 or maybe the Mark 6 Iron Man suit, and then Black Panther's just wearing his normal Ugandan suit. Black Panther's suit is obviously more durable, although albeit more flexible, so it kind of depends. It can take impact better, but slow bending forces or pressure might hurt Black Panther a lot more than Tony Stark's suit. Also, Tony Stark's suit has a lot more features to it than the Black Panther suit, as in, like, pieces can fly off of it and go do their own individual tasks and then come back. So in terms of suit capability, I'd have to say that Tony Stark's suit is obviously better. In the round 2, Black Panther versus Iron Man in suit of his choosing, excluding Thor Buster. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You can bring in Atlas, the big hulking Hulkbuster suit. I guess it doesn't really matter. Black Panther would probably lose against, I don't entirely remember what the name of it is, but it's the symbiote suit that he uses that forms over his body and allows him to uplink his cerebrum to the internet, so he becomes as intelligent as the internet has to offer, and he can search any data he wants. He also becomes, at least in agility and strength, super powerful. And if we bring that in, I understand how, unless there's prep time, if it's just a one-on-one out-of-nowhere fight, I don't think T'Challa's going to be able to take this one, Black Panther, because he's just too fast as a character, Iron Man. Let's look at this person's round 3. We're looking at Black Panther versus Iron Man, both with a week of prep. Now, this one's interesting because they both obviously know a lot about each other. It's not that hard to find out about the King of Uganda and Tony Stark, who's actually everyone knows as Iron Man. But like I said before, when it comes to people that are super smart, it's going to be a lot about who can leverage the other one's weakness better. Tony Stark obviously has a lot of fallacies about him that can be brought up, but whether or not that's going to bug Tony Stark is going to be different in how it compares to how the weaknesses of Black Panther can be leveraged, and whether or not that's going to bug him. Like I said before, Black Panther's got an entire country that can be used as hostage in any way, even if it's just one person, whereas Tony Stark has like pepper pots, and I don't even think you can use his company against him, because it's not that he can't bring it back if it gets destroyed. So perhaps pepper pots could be kidnapped, maybe, but again, that's not something that's likely going to happen because these individuals aren't villains, and that's really a villainous kind of thing to do. In terms of resources, they're both billionaires, are incredibly rich, especially Black Panther. They have a wealth of material and whatnot that they can bring to the fight, so neither one's going to outdo the other one. I can't really say which one is smarter again, because I'm not sure where they line up. They're both, I would say that they're probably both within the top 10 of the Marvel landscape, but neither one really outshines the other one. What I believe this is going to come down to is whether or not Black Panther has the ability to prepare for the symbiote suit that I talked about earlier that Iron Man has, because that's really his clinch victory type thing. And whether or not the other one's going to be able to bring in a trump card that the other person can't deal with at any specific point within their fight. Whether or not Tony Stark's going to fire off a satellite cannon right down on top of Black Panther and Black Panther can't deal with it, or if Black Panther's going to be able to develop some sort of virus or something that can infest inside a suit and incapacitate Iron Man. In the grand scheme of things, I think this fight's going to come down to which one has just more cards that they bring to the table, and if that's the case, I'm going to give this slight advantage to Black Panther because he's just slightly more wealthy, and it's easier for him to find out about Tony than it is for Tony to find about T'Challa. So in the grand scheme of things, I believe Black Panther has the victory because he has just that much more leverage. So in the fight between, ooh, I never wrote this one down. Let's see, can we make him green? That'd be weird, something new. Black Panther versus Iron Man. In the battle between Black Panther versus Iron Man, I'm going to say that the battle goes to Black Panther. All right. All right, folks, that's the three people that we've got on today's show. Just to recap, we had Black Panther versus Iron Man, Black Panther versus Wolverine, and Black Panther versus Batman. And how things went, at least from my aspect, I believe Batman would beat Black Panther, I believe that Black Panther would beat Wolverine, and I also believe Black Panther would beat Iron Man. But you know what? I want to hear you guys' opinions. Go ahead, go down that comment section below and give me everything that you have to say about this. I want to hear all the positives and the negatives. If you think I'm stupid or if you think I had some fair points. Also, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell to get more notifications from us. And as always, guys, your move, Internet. I need more people.
Minions!
Hello, Internet. I'm Gabriel. We're doing another food challenge. Here we have today is David the Troll, Anthony the Williams, and Kenny the...
Tony the Williams.
Tony the Williams, and the Kenny.
And the Kenny. Like that.
Kenny's
So-
Beef Stew Diva.
That's in fact his name.
Right now we're going to be doing a food
I'm not
challenge.
just a Kenny, I'm the...
This is a challenge that I happen to make up. It involves mouth guard and goldfish. The first one to finish the goldfish wins. This is the goldfish mouth challenge. Alright, you guys ready? Now input your mouth guard.
Alright.
Now, you gotta cut goldfish each side. You gotta cut goldfish. Alright. I got the goldfish. No, your goldfish.
Oh!
Kenny got your goldfish. Alright, now, first one to finish the goldfish wins. Who wants to say go?
Go.
your goldfish. You gotta finish your goldfish. Alright, you guys ready?
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Alright, hey, let's start. First one to finish wins. You gotta have the top.
Cheers.
Alright, ready?
Cheers. Slanja.
1, 2, 3, go!
Why?
Everything I saw goes I got.
I think I got it.
Yeah, I think you got two.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, no, I lost.
Well, I know a lot of those are mine.
Well, that was the challenge.
I think like at least three of those are mine. I didn't get to see.
Comment, subscribe,
Hit the
and
bell.
hit the bell and continue watching. We'll be back next week with another food challenge.
Do you know whose throne that is? You probably do, but I'll give you a hint anyways. I'm in Doomstat, Liberia. You know who the ruler is? Yeah, that's right. Victor Von Doom, better known as Dr. Doom. Howdy folks, Ken Man here, and welcome to another episode of YMS vs. the Internet. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Dr. Doom and all the different people he's been pitted against in debates on the Internet. But first, let's find out who Victor Von Doom really is. Victor Von Doom was born in a gypsy camp in the tiny kingdom of Latveria in the Balkan Mountains of Eastern Europe. Victor's mother, Cynthia, was killed when he was an infant. When Victor was a boy, his father, Werner, a gypsy healer, failed to save the wife of a Latverian baron from dying of cancer.
With Victor, Warner fled the Baron's retaliation, only to perish from exposure. Victor vowed vengeance on the world for his parents' death. Victor discovered Cynthia's chest of magical artifacts and realized that she was a witch. He developed immense talents for sorcery and also science, eventually winning a scholarship to State University in the U.S. There, he first encountered fellow student Reed Richards. Determined to contact his mother in the hereafter, Doom invented an interdimensional communication device. Richards happened upon Doom's notes and pointed out an error in his calculations. Furious that Richards had invaded his privacy, Doom refused to heed his warning. When Doom activated his machine, it exploded, scarring his face. According to one account, the explosion left only one thin scar, however. Doom's ego could not tolerate a single imperfection in his appearance. Blaming Richards for the accident, Doom made his way to Tibet, where an order of monks helped him forge the metal mask and armor that he would wear in his new role as Dr. Doom. Donning the newly cast mask before it had fully cooled, Doom scarred his face for life. Returning to Latveria, Doom overthrew the monarch and made himself king. As ruler of Latveria, Doom has diplomatic immunity to shield him from many laws. In this role, he invented many devices, including an army of Doombots and a time machine. He also adopted a young orphan, Christophe Bernard, who steps in to rule when Doom is absent. Doom became part of the Cabal after he left over differences with Norman Osborn.
So let's just jump right into it. Alright, first we have Dr. Doom versus Thanos. Alright, let's see what the world has to say about Dr. Doom versus Thanos. Alright, the post heading starts with, we all know that Thanos would annihilate Dr. Doom, no matter how you turn it. But what if Thor decided to give Doom a large portion of the Odin Force, making Doom a Skyfather level being? Now Doom and Thanos are perfectly matched, and neither can overpower the other through sheer power alone. So this battle must be solved through prep. Now that both Doom and Thanos have equal power and resources, they both get unlimited prep. Who is the greater prep master? No IG, Infinity Gauntlet, or Cosmic Cubes? Alright, so going on further into this debate, I'm going to set some standards here. This person is not necessarily keen on saying like, oh, hey, Doom's got Skyfather level powers, or he's a Skyfather. It's more that he's just equally matched. So I'm going to proceed onward from here saying that Dr. Doom is on the same power scale as Thanos. Alright, I'm not going to say that he's a Skyfather. This is all really just about prep time, so that's what we're debating on here. The second person says, so you ask who is better prep time guy? Thanos is. Doom and Batman may share second place. That guy's pretty ballsy for saying that, if I do say so for myself. The third guy says, so Thanos is the best prep time guy. Not only is he smarter, but also has better resources. That's not entirely true. In terms of the Marvel Universe, I'd have to say that the smartest guy is most likely Dr. Doom. Also, the best resources? I can't get that to Thanos either. He may have traveled the universe and he's done a lot of things and he's gathered a lot of material, but there's nothing really stopping Dr. Doom from getting his hands on anything that he wants. I mean, if he wants it, he'll get it. Just ask the Beyonder. Woo! Alright, moving on. We got Dr. Doom defeats beings on the level of the one above all with preparation time. Not really. Not the one above all. However, so did Thanos when he beat evil Pharaoh, who had the heart of the universe, whose name escapes me. The thing about that is that was a non-canon story, when he used the heart of the universe to defeat the Pharaoh. We can involve it, sure, that's fine, but I like to stay directly into things that are systematically canonical. So when we bring in the heart of the universe, which is a crazy powerful object, things get kind of twisted. The next person says, Doom wins, and why are there two of the same battle forms? The person below that talks about the forms too. Number 7, so Doom has a small part of the Odin Force, and he has prep. Doom for the win then. This guy seems pretty confident that if there was the Odin Force, he would win. Next person, Claus, you know nothing about Thanos. The next person says, yeah, so your point is, the guy below that is KK, so you don't know what Thanos can do with prep. With prep, on 3 different occasions, Thanos has been omnipotent and above High Father level and High Cosmic and Abstract level. What Doom has done with that once, and only because with Omniscient God let him do it. Doom wasn't able to stop the omnipotent Pharaoh and Marvel the End. Thanos had little problem with the Pharaoh later in the comic. Again, I'm not really throwing like walls for that one. Doom has a part of the Odin Force, and Doom with prep is capable of a lot. He had stolen the powers of the Silver Surfer, Galactus, and even the Great Beyonder. Well, then again, Thanos has prep too, so I may change my vote to Thanos, I guess. Alright, so here I'm going to break it down on my end of this bargain. In terms of smarts, I'm going to have to give this one to Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is smarter, not because Thanos is just not a smart guy. He's incredibly smart. He outsmarted elders of the universe. He's gotten pretty far in life just from his intellect alone. But Dr. Doom is the smartest guy in Marvel. So, in terms of, it's not saying that one is less than the other, it's saying that one is just way too good. Also, in terms of resources, if we're incorporating this into prep time, resources, they both have the same resources, really. They both get a hold of whatever they want. So, in the terms of battle of Thanos versus Dr. Doom, I gotta give this battle to Dr. Doom. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on. We got Dr. Doom versus Magneto. Alright, let's bring Magneto into the mix and see what he has to say. This person says, who wins in a fight, Magneto or Dr. Doom? Excellent. Short, sweet, to the point. I like it. Alright, first guy to comment. Technically, each of them could take the other one out with one attack. This is fairly true, though. Doom is just more prone to do it first. Dr. Doom, 7 out of 10. Alright, that makes sense. The third post, he never takes off his metal armor. Yes, it's got magnet and magical protection, but I wouldn't believe them strong enough to stop an out to kill Mags. Mags. That's a matter of perception, though. Perception, he says. That's my take on it. That being said, in character, we would see Doom do it way more often. Alright, so Magneto, yeah, is incredibly strong. If he wanted to do something all across the electromagnetic plane, he could apply enough force to do it. I mean, the guy has tilted the Earth. So, I'm pretty sure magical property armor, unless it somehow, like, disconnected itself from the electromagnetic force, is going to somehow be manipulated by Magneto. Then again, Dr. Doom is an incredibly powerful sorcerer, so he might do something with his magic that would stop some sort of manipulation from occurring. But we don't know entirely. What single attack would defeat Doom? Oh, I don't know, like a trash compactor attack? We don't know. Blood flying out of the orifices of the face. That kind of thing. You can't necessarily say that won't happen. I mean, what is he going to do? Attack Magneto with a Doom bot? Oh, no! Burn the peasant village. Alright, number 5. What one attack could each use to take each other out? Like I said, Magneto could just trash compactor Doom, and Doom could use any sort of magical affiliation that he has to his disposal to kill Magneto. Because Doom is all about the fact that he combines science with magic, and really, in the science aspect of that, it's more like technology, but really a lot science. So he could use any sort of like magical gun that he created himself, or staff, or just his suit of armor alone is a perfect combination of magic and current technology. So there's a huge number. One of it being Magneto. He's got just one thing, but he does that one thing very well. And Doom does a lot of different things, and he does a lot of different things very well. Alright, the next one is Magneto would crush Doom like a tin can, literally. I can see it happening, I'm going to be honest with you. Alright, the next one says, you're saying he knows to protect himself, but is incapable of doing so well enough to prevent Magneto from killing him. You insult Doom. This is entirely true. Just because Magneto can crush him like a can doesn't mean it's going to be that easy. This is Doom. We're talking the smartest guy in Marvel here. Arguably, that is. Nothing's ever going to be simple. Alright. This person says, yeah, that's what I thought. Magneto crushing Doom like a tin can. And then the person below that, all-out mags has been known to affect matter on a molecular level. This is entirely true. Control the electromagnetic spectrum. Entirely true. Create EMPs. Entirely true. Which technically should disable all electric activity, including muscles and brain functions. The EMPs don't do that, but I like where this person is heading. Yes. If Magneto is written correctly, there's no defense against him. To a degree, yes. I like it, I like it, I like it. Of course, Doom is a master strategist and genius, so is Mags, but to a lesser extent. That's why I give advantage to Doom. He just doesn't take it every time. Alright, I'm going to flip over to my end on this. Yes, this person is correct. Both of them are powerful strategists. Magneto is more of like a political leader in terms of what his strategy is all based around. Not to say that Doom isn't, because he is the king of Latveria, but he doesn't necessarily do everything through his political spectrum. He's more out there trying to find ways to take an advantage or bring power to himself. And that's usually through a scientific method or magical means. And oftentimes, like I said before, Doom is all about the perfect amalgamation of science and magic, which is brilliant. So I'm going to have to give this battle between Magneto and Dr. Doom. I have to give this battle to Dr. Doom. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on, see who Doom's going against. The last competitor is Batman. Wow, this is going to be, this is going to tickle the brain a little bit. We've got two incredibly smart people on this show. Dr. Doom versus Batman. No prep, 1 hour prep, and 1 day prep. Oh, so there's 3 different categories for this one. First person to comment says, Dr. Doom, curb stomp. Boom. Alright, the next person. Basically, he agrees. The next person, basically. Oh my goodness. Doom overall. Doom, yeah. Doom versus Batman. Doom, but Batman gets me. Oh my goodness. Alright, so this one, we're going to cut this one short, and we're going to come back to me real quick. Wow, the internet didn't have a whole lot to say for Batman, so I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second. Batman is incredibly smart, and in the DC universe, he's not necessarily the smartest guy, but he's up there. Probably top 10, maybe not top 10, but, you know, he's easily 15% tier right there. I'll give him that. And he's not like Doom, where he's rocking, like, the #1 seat, like, hey, this is my house. But it's Batman. He's incredibly smart. Strategist, it's his game, man. He knows everything. He's a master of it all. Doom is like, yeah, I may not be able to be savvy at it, but I'll figure it out, or I'll make a Doom bot do it. Anyways, I'm too smart for this anyways. Battle before me. Batman versus Doom. It's going to come down to who really could outsmart the other one, because it's two incredibly smart people. In terms of no prep and a straight-on fight, here's the thing. Batman's probably a better fighter, is the thing. And if they just smack into each other and like, hey, it's Doom, hey, it's Batman, Batman's probably going to be like, armbar, and subdue him with some sort of electricity sort of device that will knock out Doom, and perhaps that's how it'll go. Unless, like, they run into each other and Batman tries to armbar Doom, and Doom's like, magical spell, and sends Batman into a different dimension. That's how the no prep kind of thing. If we take like the, 1 hour prep, we've got Doom Doom never really comes after people unless it's super important. So this is probably going to be like Doom defending himself and Batman's coming into his fortress in that very Doomsday. So we got Doom's probably setting up some Doom bots, like, yeah, you just ran into a Doom bot, and then he's going to come out of nowhere and be like, well, this is the real me now. And Batman's going to be like, I calculated that because I couldn't get any pulses from that one. Even though it's supposed to be the likeness of you in every way, that wasn't the real Doom, and I knew that, so I was prepared for you with another trap that I brought in my Batwing, whatever. Although, given the scenario that I just presented, the home field advantage is going to go to Doom. So I'm going to have to probably give the hour-long prep to Doom. In the day-long prep, holy crap, we're going places here. We're going to go from the moon to Saturn to the Savage Lands and underneath the Antarctic Circle, and then we're going to come back to Latveria, and then maybe Gotham City for some reason, because Doom wants to take over the corporate giant that is Wayne anything. Alright, in a day-long thing, they're going to burn through a lot of resources. Both of them have access to almost anything. Not so much. Bruce has got all that, Batman, he's got all that wealth, and it can afford him anything that the Earth has to offer, but Doom has magic, and he can go places that Batman can't necessarily get to very easy. So in terms of resources, I would call them even just for like a day's prep. But if we're going to be honest here, there's probably some like nullifier gun that Doom can get a hold of and be like, alright, you're erased from everything. In fighting, though, again, I gotta give that one to Batman. So, in days-long prep, yeah, I'm gonna give this one, in the battle of Dr. Doom versus Batman, in a days-long prep, I'm gonna give it tie. That's the first time I've done that on this show. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and run down the list of people that we've already had on the show for Doom versus. First of all, we had Dr. Doom versus Thanos. And we had Dr. Doom versus Magneto. And we had Dr. Doom versus Batman. In Dr. Doom versus Batman, we had a tie. In Dr. Doom versus Magneto, we had Dr. Doom win. And in Dr. Doom versus Thanos, we had Dr. Doom win. Alright guys, that brings the end of this video. But as always, I want to hear what you have to say about this video. Whether you think my ideas have validity, or if you think I'm cuckoo crazy. Of course, I want you to comment down below, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can get some notifications for us for the next time we have someone on the show. And a sneak peek into the next show, we're going to have the Beyonder, our first Celestial Killer class character on the show. So tune in next time, and as always, YourMove, Internet.
There's some beautiful clouds though. That one looks like Tony. It's a big cloud.
Oh yeah, really short though.
You think it's on a chair?
Hopefully, or else we won't see him. So I was singing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but I heard, so I stopped.
Okay, ready and action. Howdy folks, Kenman here, and welcome to another episode of YMS versus the Internet. On today's episode, we're gonna...
YourMove, Internet.
Subscribe! Howdy folks, and welcome to another episode of YMS versus the Internet. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Aquaman and different people the Internet has pitted against him. So let's jump right into it. First off, we've got Aquaman versus Superman. Alright. Superman's been a popular one on this show. Let's see what Superman has to do against Aquaman. Alright. This guy posed, in a fight, who would win, Superman or Aquaman? Aquaman is in his current version with the Water Hand. The fight takes place on a beach. I think Aquaman will beat him because being that they are both in the Justice League, Aquaman knows Superman is vulnerable to kryptonite. Your opinions? Alright, the post below that seems to be a comic strip. The one below that, Superman goes through him like butter. I somewhat agree with that. The Atlanteans are somewhat more dense than most humans are, and just because they live underwater is really the explanation for that. But it doesn't really matter because as Superman, he could just tear through him. Really... There's no match there. The one below that, I would assume a current version would mean New 52 rather than Aquaman Volume 4, Issue 29. I, however, haven't followed Aquaman series in New 52, so I'm assuming the current version has the Water Hand. And the Water Hand doesn't really matter in this instance because it's not something that's going to be able to damage Superman in most instances at all. And the previous post before that, when he was talking about kryptonite, there's no real way that Aquaman's going to have any amount of kryptonite that's going to give him a measurable hand in this fight. So really this is still something that's going to fall mostly on Superman, considering that he doesn't have any weaknesses compared to Aquaman. Now let's go to the next post. This person responds, but really what's the difference? This pic was just used as a joke, much like the thread is a joke and wasn't thought through. We all know who's going to win, and it ain't King Fish Sticks. I somewhat agree with this person because, yes, Aquaman's an incredibly intelligent person. He's got a lot going for him. He's strong, but he's outclassed by Superman in almost every way. The only thing that Superman can't do is have telepathic powers, but Aquaman just isn't strong enough telepathically to really overcome Superman. Also, Superman has 3 different mental blocks put on him by different wizards, so he's not easy to get at anyways. And he's not necessarily marine-based also. A lot of it, for at least Aquaman's abilities, his telepathic abilities, he's able to affect anybody who has somehow evolved from the ocean. So in DC Comics, they go from the standpoint that everything evolved over time, and as everything has come out of the ocean, he has an ability over anything that has somehow evolved from the ocean. And that's not the case with Superman, because he's straight up an alien. We're not going to get anywhere with a telepathic argument for his sake. So, going into my opinion, in the battle between Aquaman and Superman, I'm going to have to give this battle to Superman. So let's go ahead and go down the list. Next on the list we have Namor. I was actually expecting Namor to be on this list because Namor is the exact opposite of Aquaman, except for just in Marvel Comics. Both of them are the kings of Atlantis. They both have stronger skin, denser bodies, can communicate with fish, can breathe underwater, you name it. They're just mirror images of each other. The one
real difference between the two of them is that Aquaman has a telepathic power, whereas Namor really doesn't. Aquaman's telepathic powers at times can even rival Martian Manhunter, so there's a huge difference between the two characters. Let's see what these people have to say. I suggest this goes in another section. Putting it here could be biased from Aquaman's fans who don't care for Namor. It doesn't really matter. Biases are involved in all things. The next person says Aquaman definitely. There's really no definitive way to say to either one, although I do believe that Aquaman has a slight advantage. The next person says, responding to Aquaman definitively, or definitely, reasons why, any particular scans you want to post up on the thread depicting his strength level? No scan is irrelevant, he says. The next person, I think that Namor is stronger in terms of brute force. I would agree with that. But Aquaman could probably still win in a fight. This is true. And again, the person asking for valid credentials. Go to the next one. Oh, someone posted a nice little comic strip here. Lesson point, that's one speed, which is birthright. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, Namor, he caught the ship in his bare hands. Yeah, well, yeah, I do believe that Namor is stronger. Namor has gone toe-to-toe with Hulk several times. And there is that one instance where Namor actually did defeat the Hulk. So I would give the strength to Namor. However, I do believe that Aquaman is vastly faster than Namor, especially in the water. He's about 3 times faster than Namor. I don't exactly remember the numbers behind their speeds, but I do recall that Aquaman does have a vast speed advantage over Namor. So if they get in the water, it'd be almost impossible for Namor to even hit him. Let's see, this person says, I agree, Namor has a brute strength advantage, but Aquaman beats him with speed, enhanced strength, and telepathy. This person's talking the same game I am. Alright, so we're going to fall back on my opinion for this. And in the end of this game, I believe that Aquaman is going to win this. Not only does he have incredibly powerful telepathy over Namor, which Namor will fall for because he evolves from the sea, but he's just not fast enough to hit Aquaman with any of his attacks. Granted that he is more powerful than him. So in the grand scheme of things, I'll give this battle to Aquaman. Moving on, next person on the list is Thor. Man, I love it when Thor comes on these videos because he's my whooping boy. I love beating up on Thor, even though sometimes I do give him the match win. So we have Aquaman versus Thor. That's a beautiful picture of Aquaman, if I have to say. Really nice. Oh, and there's a really good picture of Thor, too. It's really cool. Fight takes place on a beach, of course. Aquaman has his trident, Thor has Mjolnir. Morals off. No BFR, who wins? The person in first response says Thor one-shots him. This is actually entirely true because Thor has the ability to shatter planetoids. And there's not really much that Aquaman can do against that. Aquaman could probably get in the ocean and be speedy and whatnot. But here's the problem with that. Thor can track things moving at light speed. Thor doesn't always move himself at light speed, but he can always track things at light speed. He has that type of kinetic vision. So no matter how fast Aquaman goes, Thor will be at least able to hit him or see that he's traveling towards him in some sort of aggressive maneuver. The next person says Thor with one shot, so he agrees with the person above him. And the next person, Thor, says Thor easily. Now, you would obviously think in a Pokemon scenario that lightning beats water. And this is entirely true, but let's talk about water and its conductive abilities, conductive properties, actually. The only reason why water is able to conduct electricity at all is because of the minerals that exist within it. So if I was to somehow introduce a bolt of electricity to water, it can only travel between the minerals that are within the water. That's why it's conductive. But if somehow Aquaman was to manipulate the water to where it was to expel all of its minerals and become absolutely pure, and I mean in its most basic form, pure, it wouldn't be able to conduct electricity at all. And I believe that Aquaman would be able to do that, albeit it takes some time, and he's probably not going to be able to use it very well in combat. There is a way in which you can make water not conduct electricity. So I don't think that would give him an advantage, but it's a possibility. Otherwise, yes, lightning will fry this fish stick. Fish stick. Alright. No, it wouldn't. Thor would absolutely destroy Aquaman. I'm tempted to call it spite, seeing as how Aquaman has no way of winning. Yeah, it appears everyone has their marks for Thor. So we're going to drop back to my opinion. In the water, a lot of this really goes to Aquaman in terms of speed and strength. But the thing is, Thor is just really built to take on tanky characters. As an Asgardian, he himself is also really dense. And actually, he's 3 times more dense than the average human. So he's
got more constitution than Aquaman does. He probably has more strength too, considering he's got the belt given to him by the gods that magnifies his strength even further. And he can go into a state called the Warrior Madness, which allows him to extend his stamina across weeks and weeks and possibly months of fighting. So regardless of how fast Aquaman's going, he'll just be able to keep up with him, even if it's at a slower pace. And like I said earlier, the kinetic vision will allow him to track him regardless. And one shot from Mjolnir would probably end him. So in the grand scheme of things, I have to give this fight to Thor. Alright guys, in this video we talked about Aquaman. He fought against Namor, Thor, and Superman. And I want to hear what you guys have to think about those different fights. I want to leave your comments in the comment section down below and tell me if my opinions are stupid or if you think I got some validity. And as always, your move, Internet.
Hey there, Internet. I'm Tony, and I'm with YourMove Studios. And today I'm bringing to you our first ever prank video. It didn't happen the way I wanted it to. This is David. David is a troll. David loves to annoy me, and he does so in such a beautiful fashion that it's actually hard to be mad at him for it. So, things like when I'm talking to someone else about a particular object, he'll say something that he knows is completely stupid, and he acts like it's the most serious thing in the world, and it drives me insane. He does it all the time. I wish we had it more on video, the brain explosions that I have for it. So I thought, this is going to be perfect. This is going to be the perfect time to get back at him. And so what I did is I went to David, and I told David that we were going to do a prank video on Gabe. We were going to do a prank video on Gabe. I told him what we were going to do is we were going to have a pie eating showdown, and that we were going to excuse me, we're going to have a pie eating showdown, and that what was going to happen was it was going to be me eating a pie to see who, between me and Gabe, who can eat the pie the fastest. And Gabe's pie was supposed to be filled with baby food. Prunes, to be exact. And David, like I thought he would, went ahead and said, you know, we should probably make it bigger than that. We should add more people to make it more legitimate. I was like, cool, we're going to add you. I immediately turned around after that, after leaving David, I immediately turned around to our other good buddy, Kenny, who you might know from YMS versus the Internet, Ken Man, the guy who destructs the Internet's arguments over which comic book character would win in a battle, and said, hey, I have a prank video. David thinks we're pranking Gabe, but we're actually going to prank David, and I need your help to make sure that David gets the baby pie. And, well, I guess you'll see what happens. Hey there, Internet. It is I, Tony, with Gabe and David, also known as...
What?
Your name, please.
Thing number one.
Thing
number two.
Gabe and David, and this is another Bring It On challenge, but it's a little different today because instead of just doing a regular challenge, we're actually going to do a showdown between us, and we're doing a pie-eating showdown. Woo! Yeah, in the back.
The one stupid
Kenny Beef Stew Diva wants to be in on this.
This is for you, Kenny.
David?
We love you, troll!
Wait, do we all get strawberries on them?
Ooh.
Oh. Yes, we all get strawberries.
These are all homemade, by the way.
Yes. Wonderful homemade, not nad by my wife.
Not that on that.
Not nad. Gentlemen, choose your weapon.
I like the middle one. I like the spoon.
Okay. Alright.
I'll
This
use it big or
is chocolate cream pie. Hold on, guys.
Are there any rules?
The rules, here's the rules.
Can we shove our face into it?
No.
Oh,
The rules are you can't make a mess of it.
David.
Okay? Can't make a mess of it. Alright? You got to go as fast as you can, so I highly recommend getting a huge scoop. And first one finished wins.
What do we win?
What do we win?
Here's a small list.
The winner will get a trophy that I will bring at a later date.
Yes.
Because
challenge.
I totally did not have one, and the winner of that one will carry the trophy until the next showdown challenge. And here's where things started going wrong. All right, so what are you doing, Smith?
You got the smallest one.
Get out of here!
You got the smallest
Get
one.
out of here!
That's not fair.
You're bigger than me.
That's not how that works. Your stomach's bigger
That's
than
how that
ours.
works.
There.
Did you see it? David unknowingly switched his pie, which was the baby pie, with Gabe, who did not have the baby pie.
Okay. I got more strawberries now. Oh, I want some of those now. Nope.
Get out of here. This is my pie.
Oh no. Oh god.
Da-da, 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 da-da.
All right.
Ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You guys, I think he needs to be spooned.
I got a laughing attack. Get off me. I got a laughing attack. All right. Ready?
No.
Ready. Gentlemen.
All right.
I'm Mark.
Wait, do I take the crust too?
3,
I'm taking my
all of
glasses.
it.
I'm
You
getting
gotta go all of
serious.
it.
Serious face. Glasses.
2,
You gotta get all of it.
1, begin! I like how it's all on your beard, Tony.
I lost. I made a mess.
What do you mean you lost? Keep going. No defeat. No defeat, even if it's all over your shirt too.
It is.
Come on. Go. Carve it down. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? I'm not convinced. I don't see determination. Welcome to the Daytona 500, where we got, I don't know who pulling into the lead. Can't quite tell the quantity in their plates there. I kind of think Tony's in the lead from how much he's got left. Gabe looks like he's petering out, regretting his strategy from before of eating before coming here. David taking his time, looking like he's eating. I can see David sticking his pinky out. Look at them go. It's like pigs at the slop shoots. I can feel the tension in the air. You can cut it with a knife. Except for, in this case, spoons. Oh, it looks like Gabe's taking the lead. Maybe. I can't quite tell. I'm not tall enough to see that far. Which is a great deal.
You are being serious. You're sweating.
Alright. Well, I can't tell between Tony and Gabe who's winning.
Oh, there is.
Gabe looks like he's really trying. Gabe's gonna need medical attention after this. David patiently taking his time. Perhaps drinks would have been good. Maybe cups of water before this whole thing began. Not an ad. Mind you, Gabe, when you get that last bite in there, you've got to swallow it before you declare the winner. David's still idly taking his time. He is the turtle in this race, but we know how that race went down, so woo, David! Gabe, going for the only good pace is a suicide pace, and today is a good day to die.
Are you laughing or are you gonna puke? You're gonna puke?
I win because they're going to make a mess.
Tony, grabbing a trash receptacle just in case.
Ugh. Try to do it below the counter if you have to.
All right, Gabe, you gotta swallow it. You gotta swallow it. Give the camera a big old smile when you're ready. Tongue-in-cheek smile. Come on. See that Tony has quit eating altogether. And we got a winner, guys. It's Gabe.
Quick post-game interview. David.
Hey guys, look! I found napkins.
David, how do you fare amongst your defeat?
Oh my god! I was trying to not kill myself, thinking I'll pull it in the end. That didn't work out. Excuse me.
You okay, Gabe?
But I enjoyed
No?
my pie.
Are you gonna puke?
Maybe.
Was that not just the best pie you ever tasted?
I was expecting chocolate, not strawberry.
Strawberry? You mean prunes?
Whatever that
This
was.
was my son's baby food.
Whatever it was.
You blame David. It was supposed to be his pie. He switched with you.
He unwittingly stopped his own prank. that was what was up with the oh my god.
I immediately took a bite. I'm like, this is not chocolate, but I'm gonna win this.
Dude, no matter what, he gets a trophy because this wasn't a challenge. This was a prank video, and you still went for it.
It was meant for David. We were going to catch David on camera eating baby food.
I spent 2 weeks planning this just so I can get David to get a big bite of baby fruit.
He switched pies.
It was not that bad.
2 weeks. You don't have no idea how intricate this was. I was like, I need to prank someone. And so I approached David and was like, hey, we're going to prank Gabe. We're going to do this pie eating showdown between me and Gabe. And we're gonna fill his pie full of baby food, and we're gonna go at it, and it's gonna be awesome. And he's like, I feel like we need to have more people in on this for it to actually go by. I was like, okay, well then you. And it was all part of the plan because immediately after I talked to you about that, I went to Kenny. I was like, Kenny, we're gonna prank David.
You had the baby food?
You switched it on yourself.
You switched at the last minute. If I would have left it with Gabe getting the baby food, you would have pranked yourself. You unwittingly sabotaged your own prank.
He saved himself.
You know, at first I questioned it. I'm like, that doesn't look like chocolate, but I went for it.
That's how come I was pretty adamant because he was going to give me that one. I was like, no, this is my pie.
I did not see that coming, but I still won.
I forgot about that conversation. I was not thinking about that at all.
It was all supposed to be to prank you.
It wasn't that bad.
I'm sorry. And to my lovely wife, pies were great.
They were. Thank you, Mrs. Tony.
So who made this pie? Was it your wife also?
Yeah, she did.
Sweet.
She was like, prunes look an awful lot like chocolate. I was like, that's well put.
It was not that bad.
Well, there you guys go. The first ever YMS prank video on David/Gabe. If you want to see any more pranks or challenges, please comment down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and all that other great stuff for our channel to help us out. And whatnot. So,
water.
or upload it to the Google Drive, and then I'll put it together with like a behind the scenes thing.
It's recording.
It's recording. Oh, cool. We're recording our first ever unboxing video for lights because we're awesome. David.
Do I say something or just start going?
You do whatever you want to do. This is behind the scenes.
Oh, all right.
There is no script.
This is live.
That sounds very scripted.
That's live.
Alright.
That sounded very scripted?
Sounds very scripted.
Very scripted.
This might actually be
My
scripted.
entire life has been scripted like that.
You just play in my script, so like throw you off from us actually having a script.
Yeah.
Uh,
I wonder how many times we can insert script into this conversation.
Too many. You should really stop as you're writing this. If you haven't watched this 3 times, you so this is from Wish.com, and I want to point out it's not from China.
Not from China.
Yeah, City of Industry, California, 91748. I wonder if that's an actual city. That's like the street address and everything. I bet there's
It just said it was shipped from.
departure code.
That's not saying that that's where it came from.
Shipped from California.
Yeah. I don't know. Did it say that it came from China?
Did you
Oh,
read
most of
the stuff?
Most of the stuff. Oh, there's Chinese. Okay, maybe it can't. Made in China.
It did come from China.
It was made in China.
You lied to us and our viewers.
Well, you know, they can get over it. Maybe.
I'm gonna make sure that's in the subtitles.
For all the kids at home, this is not the proper way to use scissors.
Aren't you like a martial arts type of guy? You can't operate scissors?
No, I just don't feel comfortable doing it this other way because it's slower. Martial arts have to use scissors. Not master weapons.
You know, like slicing stuff.
So that's obviously the bag. Here's the umbrellas. That was almost cool. Ow! I hit myself. Alright, so that's...
I am now the penguin.
Ow. Oh, okay.
I am Cobblepot.
I bit myself. There's a little clippy thing here.
I need a top hat and a monocle right now.
Well, you're short and you got the statue for it.
I need a top hat and a monocle.
Why is there a swoop there? Oh, whatever. So, as you see, here's
Nice.
Stick it into the sun real quick and see what happens. Holy crap, it's like making...
Oh!
It's making the camera
If you
flip out
do
right
that,
now.
do not look into it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Right now, the camera does not know what to do about this lighting.
Alright, so that's cool.
Here, I'll hold on to that.
Oh.
Okay.
That's cool. And we can, I guess, keep the plastic or something.
Yeah, this is just something to help preserve it longer because...
Alright, and then in here, we have another box. Oh, styrofoam, what I always want.
Boxing it. Doing an unboxing in the box.
Oh, that
And
is a huge light.
good old fluorescent lamp.
Ooh, that's like the good one, too.
45 watts, 120 volts, 5500K.
Wow.
I'm sure no one besides electricians are going to know what that means.
I know what the watt means.
Voltage. I wonder what the K means. Maybe it just means kilo.
Kelvin.
5,500 kilos. Oh, it could be Kelvin.
Kilos.
ROHS. Yeah, so that's cool. It's a very pretty light. Looks like it's powerful. This box is the same. Let's see what's in this one. Yeah, good. What comes on? Okay, here's all the cord. Oh, here's one cord for a light.
So the light goes in there.
There's a light fixture. Then looks
The
like
umbrella.
oh yeah, it goes through there.
Let's plug it in. Check it out.
Yeah, because there's no tip on it, so I'll just slip right on.
Yeah.
And then I don't know exactly what this one's for. Maybe that's also for.
A stand.
The stand that
Oh
needs to
yeah,
sit on.
yeah, that's for the stand.
So let's plug it in and see what happens.
Yeah, I was actually going to do that when I get the
I
stand.
got it. I need the light. There's a light.
Oh, where's the light?
There's a light right behind you.
David.
You're not gonna believe this? More umbrellas.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice. They're white.
All right, oh, and they have a logo on it. Let's see what the logo says. You are gonna break these. Just Darn it.
So if you guys are wondering where we got these umbrellas, you can see the logo on the side of it right there.
Yeah, well, we actually got them from Wish.
And right there, that's the company that made the stuff.
There's also on the box.
Not an ad.
Not an ad.
Not an ad. Not advertising.
Yeah, we went to wish.com. I think there's links and stuff. We could probably try put in the description if I can.
Not an ad.
Still not an ad.
Oh, yeah, just helping you
No
guys.
paid programming.
Anyone who's interested in doing the same thing we do. And these do not have a. I just realized. Obviously, it's for different lighting. They do not have the reflective interior.
Have to specify not an ad, or they're gonna shut down the. Shut us down.
Yeah, it's not reflective or anything, so it's probably like more lighter lighting. The lighting.
Plug it in, plug it in.
And our fixture. And instructions.
Yeah, we're guys. We don't need instructions. We just do it.
That's right. Men, we just know.
Do not hold on to the lamp when power on.
Hey, so you might need to know that.
Yeah, when power on. Power's not off, or power's not on.
Doesn't say that. I just saw my peripherals and tried to freak him out. I failed. It's not even plugged in.
Yeah. You ain't gotta freak me out. Are you kidding? I'm Tony.
Tony the Almighty.
The guy who quits every other day.
I quit every day at this point. It's not every other day.
Okay, just a basic tripod, it looks like. Careful.
That sucks.
Okay, so it looks like a slice.
I'm sure it's a lot better when we don't have the natural sunlight blasting at us.
Well, that also might be one of those coil ones that needs to heat up and get brighter as it goes.
Oh, check that out.
And we could always put a brighter light on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the brighter light or...
Look at those legs. Like, looks like they're just gonna barely come out, and it's like, whoa.
Probably helps if you adjust it right. Put the umbrella.
It is getting a little brighter. It's starting to make my phone.
Yeah.
Let's go and see how high these things get. It looks like this one was higher.
Watch your head, David.
I don't know what this screw's for.
To tighten that.
How many people does it take to put a light on top of a stand?
Are you pulling it up?
No.
No, he's picking it up.
Because I'm pushing down. Do you keep...
Oh,
yeah, that is you.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I was trying to make it fully, because I want to see how tall it gets. Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Nice.
So yeah, we got great overhead, and it looks like this up here tightens. I don't know, something. Maybe it goes higher.
No,
It comes off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not what that's for.
It comes off.
So that tightens it, make sure you can't take it out. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That's exactly.
Will you turn that on for me? Yeah, I
Come on, reach.
I can't reach up there. Thank you.
You can do it.
Oh, the lighting or the cord is a little short.
We could buy an extension cord.
We're not gonna.
So if you want overhead,
We're never gonna need it this tall. Okay.
like someone has a Jesus attorney hat on. Not advertising for Monster. And you want like a Monster shot.
Not advertising.
Not an advertisement. Not an ad.
Like go out the live so you just can't see my eyes.
That's gonna be our one of our T-shirt ideas. Not an ad.
It's not an ad.
Not an ad.
This T-shirt is not an ad.
But yeah, that works out really nice. David.
Yeah.
It's actually making the camera like.
Stand here.
There we go. Just go.
It's not like super blinding, so you won't be squinting. So
Oh, by the way, that Mountain Dew you guys see right there either, that's not an ad either.
Not an ad.
Same with the Crystal Cascade water. That's not an ad. Not an ad.
No product placement. David, you have made an excellent purchase to the studio.
And
so
that men's restroom way back there, that's not an ad either. That's literally where the bathroom is.
Game to base. This is not an ad.
And there you have it. That's the
So,
unboxing.
Step on, tune in for part 2 if we make this a separate video where we actually check out the lighting in the actual video.
Maybe
Yeah,
not.
we'll test out, give our review. I guess it'll still be the unboxing, next one, do your review.
Upload it.
Uploading.
It now. Upload it now.
Done.
Hey there, Internet. Welcome to YourMove Studios. Segment Bring It On, and we are doing the pun challenge.
Punt the pun?
Punt to pun. We're doing the pun challenge. By, what's the dude's name that,
Ryan Higa.
Ryan Higa. Ryan Higa, very punny fellow.
And we have just as bad taste as he does.
So, here we are. Pun challenge. Round 1. Go.
Gasp. Oh, are we keeping this word? Is that?
Are we? Let's go. Move on. New. Gasp.
Next.
I've got a new blanket. It's made out of fleecing. Fleecing.
We like those the dad joke videos on Facebook.
Yeah. That's what puns are. Okay.
Alright.
You got one?
No.
You got nothing?
I got no sense.
Prescription.
I hear another word for rough draft is a prescription.
Pull.
Lees.
Pulleys. Pulleys.
Nailed it.
I could really go for up here. A nice cold beer.
I bet you can't guess what I'm going to make up here.
I bet you didn't think you were going to be doing this with me, Virtue. Ah! I screwed that one up really bad.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you.
Alright, that was good.
So the Mayweather, it had a sister ship, actually, called the April Flower. And they started, and they're very good partnerships.
When the summer's over, I have to take apart my ship. Put it away for the winter.
Where's the best place to broadcast Magic users? Twitch.
That's more of an advertisement than a pun.
But it's still a pun.
Twitch is better. My pun or his pun?
On the bed.
Are you going to want to go over this again?
No.
You!
Yeah, he's cracking down again, see?
See, I just couldn't go through it.
Man, you choke a lot.
That was awesome. Oh, here we are again. All my words are getting marched up. You have to pardon my cough. I'm a little silk.
Yeah, I would say we're equal, but I also want to say that okay, no.
It's alright. When this is all over, I'm going to tweak all the videos together.
I think the best part's Kenny's reaction.
At work, there's this dispatch lady who's really awesome.
Yeah. Preach her own. Now, when you take the sum of two hills of volume and you put them together, you get an add vantage point.
Every year when I re-register, I have to add vant and age on my van. Kenny's back there like manual.
I could smoke you step up there right now. Oh, you made fun. Okay. Oh, you hear about the hotel that everyone claps for when they go by? It's an innovation.
I need more people.
Minions!
I go down. Hello, Internet. I'm Gabriel. We're doing another food challenge. Here we have today is David the Troll, Anthony the Williams, and Kenny the... Tony the Williams, and the Kenny.
And the Kenny. Take that.
Kenny
So-
the Beef Stew Diva.
That's in fact his name.
Right now we're going to be doing a food
I'm not
challenge.
just a Kenny, I'm the...
This is a challenge that I happen to make up. It involves mouth guard and goldfish. The first one to finish the goldfish wins. This is the goldfish mouth challenge. Alright, you guys ready? Now input your mouth guard.
Alright.
Now, you gotta cut goldfish each egg. You gotta cut goldfish. Alright. I got the goldfish. No, your goldfish.
Oh,
Kenny got your goldfish. Alright, now, first one to finish the goldfish wins. Who wants to say go? I got it, I got it. I got a thing? No, this one. Alright, you guys ready?
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Alright, hey, we're at the start. First one to finish wins. Now you gotta have the cup.
Cheers.
Alright, ready?
Cheers. Cheers. Sanja.
1, 2, 3, go! Why? Everything I saw as good as I got.
I think I got it.
Yeah, I think we got two.
Oh, disgusting.
Oh, nope, I lost.
Well, I know a lot of those are mine.
Well, that was the challenge.
I think like at least 3 of those are mine. I didn't get to see.
Comment, subscribe.
Hit the
And
bell.
continue, hit the bell and continue watching. We'll be back next week with another food challenge.
There's a point I looked down to look at Gabe, and the just came out of my mouth because I forgot I couldn't close my lips.
Are you actually eating those off the floor?
No. I look over and I just like you feel the.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of
Bring It On.
I'm your host, Tony, and this is Ken, the Beef Stew YouTube Diva, and Gabe, the Gerber chowing down person that you saw in the last episode that was not actually a Bring It On, but a prank that
Failed.
Unfortunately,
And I still won.
Unfortunately,
It was hilarious.
Unfortunately, he was not supposed to be pranked.
So,
That flipped it on its head.
today we are going to be doing the Chubby Bunny contest. For those of you who don't know, and if you don't know, I don't know why you don't know, because it's not like this is actually still relevant at all. But we take a marshmallow, we put it in our mouth, and continue to do so until we can no longer say Chubby Bunny. Person who can get the most marshmallows in their mouth and still be able to say Chubby Bunny is going to be the victor.
He's doing something.
Alright, gentlemen. Grab your marshmallow.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
No, choose a different one. You mash that one.
Okay.
That's not fair. Ready? I guess David Troll is going to try to do this from behind. Ready? And go.
Where'd the marshmallow go?
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny?
Chubby
Bunny.
Take
Round
two.
Oh, shoot.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny. Bunny. There you go.
Chubby Bunny.
Round 3.
Oh, okay.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny.
Round 4.
Shoot, I'm sweating now. This is good.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny.
Round 5.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby
Round 6. Yep. Round 5.5.
Why are you chewing?
You
Stop
can't.
chewing.
You can't swallow. Swallowing's
You
against the
gotta chew or
rules.
swallow.
No, I was moving. Don't try it. Chubby Bunny.
Round 6.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny.
Round 7.
Oh, shoot.
Chubby Bunny.
I'm out.
Oh, Gerber food. I'm done. I was out.
You can still do it.
Round 8.
Keep going. Keep going.
I squeezed in another one, and the marshmallow went straight down to my
Finish him.
You got it. You got it.
Round 9. How far can you go? How far can you go? How
You can do
far
it.
can you go?
You got
Get it,
this.
shove it.
You got this. Bring it on. That's gonna be the weirdest cause of death ever. Died of death of marshmallows. Alrighty, and that is the Bring It On challenge.
Round
The
9.
victor. What are you doing it now?
Chubby Bunny.
Oh.
I win.
The victor of the Chubby Bunny contest goes to Ken, the Beef Stew YouTube Diva,
That was a bit harder than I anticipated. Holy guacamole.
with 9 rounds, 9 big campfire marshmallows. Ken, the Beef Stew Diva, wins. So, comment down below on what challenge you think we should be doing next. Like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell for the notifications, and always remember to, I don't know, stay classy.
Round 9. Go.
Hiya!
Cat.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to episode 1 of Game On, Fortnite Edition. I'll be doing a quick gameplay of Solid Gold version 2 on solo. So let's see, let's get down to it. Alright, here we go again. Let's go, I'm gonna go jump to Tilted. That sounds like a fun place. I love going to Tilted. I always jump a little bit early just because it gets you a little bit lower. And you can probably, you know, after a while learn where you can pop your chute and be just perfect.
I've learned that if you're just over these buildings right here, next to Loot Lake, you'll be just fine. Alright, we got a couple people coming in. I have not loaded up yet. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Well, that loaded up. See, I can't go in buildings, and until it all loads, there's nothing I can do. I'm like falling through the map. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we go. It's loading. Come on. Come on. There we go. I gotta stay where I know I'm safe. Slowly it's loading. I don't know why it does it. Like, we got pretty decent internet stuff. What the? This is ridiculous right now. It's like, here, we'll load everything and then you'll start playing, but then you won't be able to load any of the maps, so good luck. This is going to be like episode 1 of just Fortnite gameplay, and it's about to turn into the first Rage Quit. If you guys want to see some Rage videos, post down below. I can surely give you guys Rage videos. Guaranteed to make you laugh. Just post down below saying, I want it. Alright, here we go again. Let's see. Let's go to... I want to go Tilted again. But just in case things don't... I mean, everything looks like it's loaded. I'm going to go... Let's go someplace that I know many people go to. I'm going to head up to the llama over here. Wait to the very end. Try to sneak out there until everything loads up okay. Alright, here we go. Like, it does look like everything's loaded. Okay, that doesn't load anymore. Look loaded. Bleh. There we go. That gun sucks. Okay. You know, if I had to choose a pistol, I'd go with this pistol. Silent pistol, always good. Hey, look, it loaded! Everything's loaded. Final, and I'm like the furthest possible way over. Oh, that is so frustrating. Well, YOLO! Ow. Gotta hurry up. See if I can get like a jump pad or something. There we go. Yeah, like I said, we get all solid gold weapons in this game. Honestly, it's not that bad of a game mode. It's, for me, it's if the game doesn't load properly or it takes a while. Then it drives me nuts. Come on, get in there. There you go. Alright, we got a Chug Jug. Alright, I feel like I'm golden. Let's go, hit this last one. Unfortunately, you can't double Chug Jug, so I'm gonna head on out. I know I can hear another one, but frankly... Actually, yeah, screw it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? I do have a Chug Jug. Oh boy, more garbage. Alright, here we go. a long way to book it now. Do you guys ever wonder what's out there? It's like beautiful. There's only 35 people left. My lord, we just started this game. One thing I hate, like, you just be running and then you randomly, someone you get shot in the back, you know, because, I don't know, it drives me nuts. I'm fairly certain I'm free to run, though, like, everyone's probably gone by now. Still gotta watch my back. Oh man, I'm gonna have to cut across Loot Lake that direction. Which is not good because you got all those people from Anarchy, maybe Rescue Reels, depending on where they come from. But I'm not going over Loot Lake. That's like an invitation, because it's like, look at that. It's literally just a clear canvas, and you just start building across it, and people are going to see you. Oh, 28 people. And they're dropping like flies right now. One good news about running at the very last minute is the fact that people don't like to wait long enough to be put in the storm. So you pretty much get the drop on everybody. Like, look at that dude. There he is. And there's another one right there. Hopefully I'll get the drop on them both. We'll see in about a couple seconds. Here we go. Engage, engage, charge! Oh, crap. As much as I want to stay, I gotta go. We got 52 seconds, and I gotta run across map again. Of course, if you guys ever play with me on this game, I'm always the guy that, like, manages to fall at Junk Junction, and the circle goes completely to the opposite side of the map. Aw, crap. What the heck was that? That was horse crap. Alright. That was garbage. That dude was trash. I don't know how he killed me. That was stupid. I shot him like 4 or 5 times in the head with my scar. Only managed to do that, but oh well. Alright, next game. Alright guys, we got another game of Solid Gold Solos. Let's see what we can do now with this game. Here we go. If it ever loads, there it goes. See, and that's why I don't like going to places like anything on the outer ring. That's why I always go to like Tilted, Salty, Dusty, Lonely, sometimes Pleasant, Fatal, Let's hope that Tilted Tower loads, because that's where I'm going. Charge! Nothing's a better feeling than when you jump alone. It just has that feeling of you're going to be the only one that comes here, but you know you're not. You know you're not. Between those 2 rocks, and you should be just fine. I'm aiming for that little ledge right there where that square building is at the bottom. And hopefully it loads. It doesn't look like it's going to load. Come on, come on, load, 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 load. Oh, man. Wow, shoot. Look at this. There's someone right there. I don't know who it is. Like, this isn't really cheating, but it's also really ridiculous. Look at that. It's like, here, you can see everybody, but you're going to die anyway, because you can't pick up weapons, you can't walk, you can't jump, but I can see everybody. Sometimes I can see floating guns. And then there's the hack for floating gun, like the hack for invisibility. That's a lovely one. Alright, we're going to switch it over to Fudgy. We're going to go to 50v50 version 2. I'm just done. Hopefully with 50v50 the game will load in time before I get into combat. I enjoy this game. I do. But it can really get on my nerves. My whole one of them, because I get raged at this game fairly quickly. And then trolling. I love to troll people. Alright, if you guys want to see trolling videos, comment down below. Troll. Alright, let's see. Looks like we got Tilted Towers area, so I'm going to head up Tilted. And then we got some running to do to the big circle. Actually, I'll go to Haunted. No, Dusty. No, Schnobby. Schnobby Shores. It's away from the area. It'll give me time to find weapons after the game loads. Look at that. That truck is all jacked up. It doesn't even look like a truck. It looks like a rock. Okay, here we go. Well, it looks like I'm the only one that came here. So I'll have some time for the houses to load and stuff. And look at this. It's all fuzzy. I'm like bouncing. Like, okay, I jumped. There it goes. It's always so nice when I'm able to drive again. Let's come down here. Somewhat hasn't loaded yet, but it's loaded. It's loaded enough. Oh my lord. Okay, it's better than nothing, just in case. I know there are those guys that will come to like your side of the map. That house hasn't loaded yet. Wow. Oh my god, people are hitting up my houses. There we go. Whenever I find one of those, that always makes me happy. Whoa, we got a little lag spike going on. So people who play this game need just to get better connection. This is ridiculous. I can't even get on this house. I mean, look at this. You can just see where the house is. Oh, there it goes. No! Dude, go find your own area. I gotta, like, go a lot faster now and try to get to these houses before they do. Hit up this.
Thanks again.
Alright, there we go. That is nice. That is so nice. I will be doing well now. Alright. There we go. Now we're going to hit up the last area. The bonus thing about the jump pad. Oh, I heard a duck. Oh, God. Let's see, I'm trying to... There we go. I know this house... There we go. That's sad. When the game hasn't loaded yet, but I know where all the doors are. You know, I've gotten some. Let's go ahead and do some reorganizing. If you always want to improve your gameplay on Fortnite, reorganize your stuff so that you know where things are and stuff, you know. Like, my first slot is always a shotgun, my next is then my assault rifle. Alright, so... I'm going to go ahead and get some supplies now. Frankly, I don't care about the barrier right now just because the storm. It's because I have a jump pad. So, here we go. Alright, try to get a little height now before I use it. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. We got some good height. And the good news about that is if there's anyone else left over there, they'll see it and use it. Alright, here we go, guys. Back into the range of things not loading again. Okay. We're almost there, it looks like. Yeah, we'll be fine. Got a good amount of ammo, and there goes an ally. There it is. There's the circle. Running, running, running. It's beautiful. That's what 50v50 is supposed to be. But it's 30v32 now. Oh, Jay's tires. I don't know what's going on up here, but I like the sound of it. Ooh, sounds sweet. Gotcha. All right.